Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to color this adorable image that's from our Yabba Dabba Doo stamp set that just came out this January 2025. So I'm going to color this image using my Copic markers, and I'm going to start with the skin. As far as markers, I'm going to use E04, E11, E21, E00, 000, quadruple 0, as well as my R20 and R00. So I'm going to begin by using my E04, and I'm going to draw a line where I feel the cast shadow would be. So I'm just going to draw right under her hair. Just using the very tip of my marker. I'm also going to go into the crease of her eye with the E04. And I like to flip my image upside down and then just carry that line out a little bit. So again, we'll do it on this eye. Just carrying that line. There we go. So let's just work on her face for now. So that was E04. Now I'm going to go to E11. I'm going to go over top of that, E04, and just thicken the line ever so slightly. And I'm kind of going over it, and as soon as I see that E04 start to blend and meld, that's when I stop. And I'm going to go over the eyes. And I'm slowly extending that line. Now I'm going to go to E21. Same thing. We're just starting to thicken that line. And I'm just looking for my other colors to start to blend, and then I stop. You don't want to keep going over it and over it, or else you're going to lose your layers of color here. So I'm going to carry this around the bottom of her face, and I'm also just going to go around the eye, keeping that white as best I can. Okay, and that was E21. Now we're going to go to E00. And I'm going to hold my marker farther down the barrel, and I'm going to start to hold it on its side and do a bit more flicking. So I'm just going to flick towards the center of the face, so my marker is kind of touching where we colored, and then I'm flicking and lifting. I'm going to go just under her eyes here with the E00. Okay. Now I'm going to switch to my E000. Same thing, I'm just slowly working my way towards the center of her face. Okay, and then with my E quadruple 0, I'm going to fill in the center of her face. I'm going to just work backwards a little bit. But I don't want to push too far back into where we colored. Okay. Then I'm going to go in with my R00, just under her eyes here. And then with my R20, then I'm going to go back with my R00 and just soften that out. And sometimes if you get that kind of harsh line from the E04, I like to go over with the R20. I'm just going to go over that. And then I'm going to go with my E00 and just soften it. And then right to my lightest color, my E quadruple, and very quickly, I'm just going to flick into the center of the image. There we go. Okay, I'm going to do her tongue, and I like to just use the E04, fill that in. And then I'm going to use a colorless blender, and I'm just going to dab in the center of the tongue just to get a highlight in there. And while we're on her face, let's do her eyes. So I'm going to use B66 and B63. And I'm just going to go at the bottom of the eyes. With the B66. Then I'm going to go in with B63 right over top of that. I'm pushing it right into where we did that B66, which almost acts like the colorless blender. Then with my colorless blender, I'm going to just push and soften that B63. Just kind of pushing it down. There we go. Okay, let's continue on with the rest of her skin. So back to E04. Just using the very tip of the marker. Just going to add my, where I feel it would have the most definition, or there would be a cast shadow. So kind of under her dress, I'm gonna just create kind of where her knees, ankles, elbows, stuff would be. Then I'm gonna go in with my E11. And I'm just going to work my way, doing the same principle as what we did before. Slowly working my way up. Okay, now E21. And E00. And I'm gonna color in most everything except the knees and the elbows. Just gonna go to my E000. And just color in the rest of it. Okay. Now we've got her skin completely done, and let's work on her hair. So for her hair, I'm going to use E18, E19, YR18, and YR16. So I'm going to start with my E18. And we'll do her little kind of bun thing at the back first. So I'm just going to draw my lines. I'm kind of just doing little flicks, or as I like to say, little blades of grass. Just using the very tip of that marker. Okay, that was E18. Now I'm going to go to my E19. And same thing, but this time I'm going to carry it out a little farther doing my flicks. And I'm going to flip this image around. Okay. Now I'm going to go to YR18. And this time I'm going to start to connect both sides, leaving just a little bit of white. Then I'm going to go to YR16. I'm just going to fill in the rest. I'm going to go back to my E18. I'm just going to do a second layer. When I do my second layer, I try and be a little more quick and less intentional about it. Don't overthink it. So that was E18, E19, and then YR18. And then YR16. Okay, there we go. Let's do the sides of her hair. So with the E18, I'm gonna just flip her around because I find it easier to flick away from myself. So that was E18. Now E19. Then we're going to switch to our YR18. And our YR16. And you can use your judgment if you want to do a second layer or not. I think I'll quickly do that. So E18, E19, YR18, and a little bit of YR16. Okay, now let's do the center of her hair. So I am going to start from the center. Kind of following the line art. And from so I'm just kind of working my way around the front, following the lines, trying my best to keep it kind of parallel with the line art. So that was E18. Now I'm going to do E19. Same thing. And if you are if this is something you struggle with, go in with your lightest color and practice drawing these lines, because you're not going to see those light lines when you're all done. It's kind of like you're mapping it out. So I'm just kind of thickening my lines a bit. Now I'm going to go into with our YR18 and same thing. Now our YR16. I'm just going to flood this, fill it. Because we're going to do a second layer here. And that's going to help bring everything together. Okay. So it looks okay, but it's not great. Our second layer is going to help make it look better. So E18 again. I'm just going to pick some areas that I want to go over. Okay, so that was our E18, now E19. Okay. Now our YR18. And our YR16. There's a couple areas I don't like right up here. So I'm going to go to my YR18. And just try and soften them a bit. Okay, there we go. And let's do her dress and pearls. So I'm going to use C4, C2, and C0. So I'm going to go in, starting with my C4, and very lightly I'm going to just pick a few areas. So I'm going to go just by her waist. I'm going to pick up some of the bottoms of her dress, kind of the jaggedy parts, and I'm going to just do the pearls for now. I'm going to leave the pearls for the time being. Now I'm going to go to C2, and I'm just going to soften and I'm going to carry up by her waist, and then using C0, same thing, just going over everything. Then I'm going to go over those pearls. And last but not least, I'm going to use my colorless blender, and I'm going to just go from the areas that didn't have color, kind of push it down. Just kind of in the white areas is just going to soften it ever so slightly. And then in the pearls, I'm going to just dab it in the center. And then I'm going to just go in with the C2 just by her waist. And at the bottoms, and just kind of re-emphasize what we had done. And then last but not least, I'm going to go in with my gel pen. And I'm just going to add some highlights to her eyes. And voila! We have our adorable image ready for a card, your planner or journal, or scrapbook layout. Hope you guys liked my tutorial. We'll see you next time. Bye!